Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven aka Storm and we are back for some more of the Elder Scrolls Online as the mighty battle lizard Reewish. Continuing the Elder Scrolls Online Markarth DLC, the end of the Dark Heart of Skyrim year, and we are about ready to get started on the next part of the main quest. We are still on the first main quest of the area. We have still not finished the first main quest, but that'll be finished up today, and hopefully we'll get a couple more main quests done as well. We've actually, as you see, got quite a bit of progress done with the game. Alright, let's get started. Few adventurers choose to brave the rocky highlands of the Reach, savage predators, perilous dwarven ruins, and I didn't get to finish reading because it already had let me go before I could get to that point. Talk to Cadwell at the Harborage. No, I'm not in any mood to do that right now. Eventually, when I run out of DLC content, I will be going back to the base game and working on finishing up the base game, but we've got quite a bit of post-game content to be doing, so we won't be doing that anytime soon. Alright, so we need to go here, and it might be easier just to ride that way, actually, instead of taking away shrine, because I think that's going to make things more complicated. I think this is the best way, is to follow the road.
Hold there, outsider. These hills belong to the Reach folk, Rover. Turn around and go back the way you came, or I'll have your nose for a trophy.
I'm looking for the witch rebels. I need to speak to them.
Witch rebels, huh? That's just a label applied by the oppressors, don't you think? Look, we have enough trouble with those Greyhost bastards and Carrick's soldiers. We don't need a curious outsider blundering around and getting in our way too.
I'm hunting the Grey Host too. I need to talk to your leader, Arana.
You're a hunter? Truly. Sounds more like Carrick and his keep witch getting up to more mischief. You want to befriend the witch rebels? Then prove it. The Grey Host has set up stockpiles nearby. Find out what they're storing, and then we'll talk.
Alright, I'll investigate the Grey Host stockpiles.
The stockpiles were spotted to the east and south. If you can find out what the Grey Host is using them for, then we'll owe you a favor. And true Reach folk never renege on a favor.
What do you expect me to find in those Grey Host stockpiles?
If I knew for certain, there'd be no need to have you go and take a look, would there? Probably supplies for their army. Though what vampires and werewolves need is anyone's guess. Ritual items, things for their harrowcraft. That's what I expect.
Harrowcraft, is that related to the Harrow Storms?
Aye. Harrowcraft is what we call the rituals we've seen the Grey Host perform when they summon those cursed storms.
I spent some time researching Harrow Storms in Western Skyrim.
Then you know the Grey Host has recruited Ice Reach witches to conjure up their storms. They use fetishes and alchemical mixtures in the rituals, so it makes sense they need a place to store those components. spirits.
I heard them call you witch rebels. Are you a witch?
Are you daft, outsider? Do I look like a witch to you? A true witch has power, hears the spirits, knows the old words, commands animals, things like that. Some use their power to help. Others use it to kill. Ice Reach witches are particularly evil.
I fought the Ice Witch Coven before.
Well, you'll probably have to fight them again. They stalk these hills like old ghosts. They're allied with the Grey Host now, don't you know? Greedy hags, a lot of them. I respect their strength, but their hearts are all twisted inside.
Ard Kadek made peace with the Grey Host. Why are you still fighting?
There may be a piece of swords inside Markarth, but out here we're outnumbered and fighting for our lives. Nothing unusual on that. We won't let the Grey Host desecrate our land, and we won't let Kadek give it away just to avoid a little blood.
Alright, I'm off to find these supply caches. We'll go to the furthest one first and then work our way back. Well, that's not great. I went the wrong way, I think. Nope, no, I didn't. This is right. Yeah, because then I come up here and take a sharp turn, and this is where I need to be. These vampiric servants move like overstuffed hens, slow, too slow. Our Ashen Lord demands more harrow storms, but what are we to do with blundering oafs who can barely carry a box of turnips, let alone powerful reagents such as grey reliquaries and witch pikes? Come to the gathering circle just northwest of Valtumbero. Our friend in Markarth often meets with Grey Host leaders there. Perhaps she can convince the exarchs to provide more suitable workers. Spirits guide you, Sister Gwendolyn? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm saying that right, but you know, I don't think I went to the one that was furthest out. Oh well. It looked like it was the one that was furthest out, but roaming through the hills of the Reach again. It's been a long time since I just rode through the Reach. Actually, that's not true. I've done it twice more on 2 other characters, but you know what I mean since I did it in Skyrim. Hey Joe, welcome to the stream. We're currently looking at Grey Host supply caches for the Witch Rebels to earn their trust. Oh dear, it's a long drop. But it's a good thing I'm a lizard. I fear not the water. Please don't sing. Everybody's a critic these days. I actually remember what button was my attack button. Woo! Alright, got the witch pike fragments. Farewell, losers! Ha 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 ha! Uh-oh, it's a troll. I'm gonna die. Yup. Really need to be more careful about that. Joe, you mind kicking that bot out of the stream, please? That bot too, please. Well, thank you, Joe. I mean, I have to admit, Twitch isn't as bad about the bots as YouTube was. You remember that one day I was doing Fallout 4 and we had literally like 5 bots come in? Yeah, I know, right? But remember that one time on the when I was doing Fallout 4 and I was doing the grinding for levels and we had like 5 bots come into the YouTube stream at once? Pincherac Huntering. The witch rebels continue to frustrate our efforts south and east of the city. Need I remind you that my intrigues in Markarth cannot bear fruit so long as the pugnacious curs run free. Repeated failures rarely go unnoticed, Pincharac. Your messenger delivered the Ashen Lord's summons without incident, a rare but welcome success. I will make my way to Valathrum Burrow. Presently, perhaps I will tell our august leader about your recent failures. Yet. Bound by blood, Lady Boleyn. Lady Boleyn's working for the Grey Host. Which I don't think anyone was truly surprised about that.
Come, Harrier. Give me your measure.
Arana.
Tayfern told me about you, Harrier. You wanted to talk? Well, here I am. What will it be? A battle? I haven't turned anyone into a boat recently, but I'm willing to try if you so much as raise your weapon.
You're the leader of the witch rebels?
Why does everyone insist on calling us that? Tayfern, remind me to come up with a better name when time permits. As for later, well, I guide this gathering of rage folk, if that's what you're asking. But what about you? Why are you here?
Lady Boleyn sent me to find you, but according to this letter, she's working with the Grey Host.
Of course she is. She's a vampire, after all. We tried to slay her twice without much luck. Quick as a spooked hare, that one, and twice as cautious. We'll have her fangs soon enough, though. You can read? What else does that sheet of paper say?
Apparently she's meeting with the leader of the Grey Host in Valathrum Burrow.
The leader? No, that's a word of news. Bones and birds guide us well, but there's no replacing a cunning hunter. Go to the barrow, Harrier. Listen in on their meeting. Find out what Boleyn and her master are up to, and I'll hear you out.
Alright, I'll find out what Lady Boleyn and the Grey Host are up to.
The spirits will see you safely to Valathrum, Harrier. After that, I suggest stealth and a strong blade.
Your rebellion, do you plan to overthrow Markarth?
Overthrow Markarth? What in the mirror's name would I do with all that dead stone? No, my purpose is clear. I need to help our people by shaking Kadok out of his dream. If that doesn't work, split his skull and let it spill out on its own.
What dream is that?
Kadok's dream of being king. Oh, he has a true heart. In better times, he's a fine leader. But we face a lean season. We're hungry. But instead of filling the larder, he dreams of a golden crown. His foolish pride has brought this upon our people.
He rules Markarth. Shouldn't he be crowned the richest king?
Not yet. Not until all the beasts of the woods howl his name. And every day he heeds Boleyn is another day he proves me right. The Grey Host has dark plans for Markarth. Kadok's stubbornness will get everyone in that city killed.
Are you really a witch?
I am. And a fine one at that. Oh, never met a witch before, Harrier?
Not one quite like you.
I'm sure. We're not all like the blood-sucking Boleyn, and my misguided sisters from Icereach, though. Some of us aren't over-enthusiastic malcontents with a penchant for violence and destruction. Not all the time, anyway.
Does your power come from Daedra?
Daedra? Oh, the spirits. The old ones. Yes, I've heard them called that. The world is full of whispers, for those with the patience to hear. Most them bloods are just too busy begging pardons from dead gods to pay attention. Pity.
That's something that comes up a lot. People are constantly referring to the Aedra as the dead gods. I kind of see where they come from there, because the Daedra, you know, they do respond back, and that's something that's the people that follow the Aedra. You know, you rarely ever get any kind of message from the Aedra because, you know, they're dead. Do you worship the Daedric princess?
Daedra, spirits, crows. It's all the same. Where you see evil gods, we see teachers. Cruel ones, for certain. But that's the world, right? A stone will kill you if it strikes your head. But lifting the same stone makes us strong.
Tell me about you and your rebels.
What's to tell? I'm a proud woman of their age. A daughter of wind, sweat, and the rich soil. As for my brothers and sisters, a good rich folk of their lost country. They mind the spirits and love the land. The real question is, who are you?
I'm Reewish Lefdesh.
A fine name, I suppose, for an outsider. But what's in your heart? Most them buds come to the rich wheezing under the weight of their purses and riddles. You though, I smell the blood of the rich in you. Not much, but maybe it's enough.
The blood of the Reach?
Aye, free blood. That's what the rich is. Freedom. In the rich, we do as we please. The only way to stop us is to kill us. And we don't die easy. Same goes for you, I'd say.
Alright, we're off. We're actually not far from where we need to go, so... Excuse me. There it is. Alright. Let us go spy on the Ashen Lord, Rada al-Saran. But first, let's send some of his Grey Host bastards back to Cold Harbor the hard way. Back to Cold Harbor with you. Ow, stop sucking out my blood. I need that.
Do not be concerned, Rada Alceron. Your plan proceeds. Caddock hangs on my every
There's
word,
Boleyn, and there's
soon
Rada
Reach
Alceron.
will fill Markarth like a larder.
Excellent. With Markarth prepared, we need only claim the Arctan keystone.
I'll make inquiries. Just remember our arrangement. Like you, I hate to be disappointed.
You there, in the shadows. You can't hide from the Ashen Lord. Follow me, if you dare.
I do dare, Rada Alceron. I've had enough of you. It's time to settle this.
You actually...
All the way up there.
There's fire in your veins. I'll give you that. Very well. You may speak to me.
Can I just say, it's really unfair for him to be so high up.
You. The thorn that caused me no small amount of irritation in solitude. You thought yourself so clever, so stealthy, spying on me from the shadows. But the darkness answers to me. Why have you come to this forsaken barrow?
Why have you brought the Grey Host to the Reach?
You stand before Rada al-Saran and seek to understand his purpose. Better a torchbog try to comprehend the secrets of alchemy, or a mudcrab the intricacies of necromancy. These events began millennia before your birth. They concern you not at all.
We're going to stop you.
Who is this we you speak of? Certainly not the rich folk. No, there is someone else. I see them, lurking in your thoughts. An ally, almost as ancient as I am. They're desperate to forestall the coming night. Tell me, who is this person?
I don't have to tell you anything.
And I don't have to resist the urge to rip out your throat and gorge on your blood. But we are civilized beings, exchanging pleasantries in this humble setting. Perhaps we can come to some sort of arrangement. A tip for a tap, as it were.
What kind of arrangement are you talking about?
I propose a simple arrangement. A truth for a truth. Ask a question. I will answer honestly, then I will ask a question in turn. A fair compromise. Don't you agree?
All right, I'll play your game.
Excellent. Then by all means, ask your first question.
All right, Joe, I'm going to need the audience participation for this one. So what question are we going to ask him first? Why do you want to conquer the Reach? What's Lady Boleyn's role in this? Or where do you come from? All right, what's Lady Boleyn's role in this, Rada Alceron?
Lady Boleyn is an ally of convenience.
Boleyn, sorry.
Her interests and my design are selfish and predictably narrow. Do you seek to supplant her in Caddock's court? I recommend against that, for it will not go well for you.
I don't take kindly to threats.
A threat implies only the possibility of punishment. I do not threaten. Boleyn has Caddock's ear. If he takes your side, she kills him and chaos descends on Markarth. If he stands by Boleyn, you will be executed. Neither outcome benefits you.
If I fall, others will stop you.
Others? Who? Reach folk? The witch Arana? Your mysterious ally? I am unconcerned. Now, for my question. This ally that hides behind your eyes, does he seek to protect the world by going against his own kind?
All right, so we can answer yes, or we can lie and say no. Truth for truth, okay.
Of course he does. Thank you for your honesty. Now, do you have anything else to ask?
Alright, and then so we can either say, what do you have planned for the Reach? Where did you come from? Or I have nothing more to say to you. Plan for the Reach.
I have no interest in conquering the Reach. I came here to make use of something very old, very powerful. The Reach has the misfortune to be located directly above it. Many of these mortals will die, not because I want them to, but because they must.
Killing people just to use something is insane.
Not when your purpose is worthy. I do what I do for love.
Oh god.
My turn. Your ally. Are they a high elf?
Alright, again, yes or lie, no. Do you want to continue truth for truth? Okay, so yes.
Your honesty does you credit. Thank you. Do you have another question?
Alright, so we have one more question left. Where did you come from? And then we have, I have nothing more to say to you. No questions. I have nothing more to say to you.
As you wish. Know that this level of cordiality will not be repeated. And this is not a threat. If you continue to meddle in my affairs, I will take far more than your life. On that, you have my word.
Yeah, lucky for you, I've actually made that selection. I can tell you what he would say if we actually asked him that question. What Rada al-Saran will say if you ask him that question is that he was a Yakutan swordmaster who strived for perfection on the shores of Yakuta, a land of legendary heroes where master swordsmen are as common as wheat. Like, it's almost impossible to become recognized in a land of such legend. So Rada al-Saran sought perfection in everything he did. Perfection in battle, perfection in learning, perfection in love. Anything that he could be perfect in, he strived to be perfect in. He came over with the Yakutans and waged war against Hammerfell back in the first era when they first settled in Hammerfell, and then he met Lecky, the legendary Redguard swordswoman. And the two of them fought to a standstill, and his confidence was shattered by losing to Lecky. When he lost the ability to summon his Shihai, his spirit sword, as a result, and he turned to Molag Bal seeking a new source of power. And then Molag Bal turned him into the Ashen Lord, a vampire, pureblood, kind of like Harkin is from Skyrim. After that, he was looking for a purpose, and he ended up creating his Grey Host. So, and that's the origin of that's not something we're gonna do right now. And that is the origin of Rada al-Saran. Yeah, I actually could have. I've actually listened to all of those options twice, so I know everything he was gonna say. So I was prepared in case you didn't want to ask any of the other questions. I could explain what he would say, so that way you didn't miss out on the information. So. Yeah. To realize that you're not perfect after spending your entire life striving for perfection, it really broke Rada al-Saran on the inside. Like, he was unable to handle the fact that he was not perfect. No human is perfect. And the problem is that he couldn't accept that, and he turned to vampirism as a means of trying to achieve perfection. Because what he couldn't achieve in one lifetime, he believed he could achieve in, countless lifetimes. By the way, that's I'm pretty sure that's Skyhaven Temple right there. Maybe not. Maybe that's not Skyhaven Temple. Certainly looks like it, but with that mist glowing around it, I believe that is Skyhaven Temple up there. Yeah, I rode right past the Way Shrine. Actually, kind of surprised that there isn't a quest to go with Sai Sahan to Skyhaven Temple as a Dragon Guard hideout.
Too far. This will not stand. Finally, someone who looks strong enough to actually help.
Welcome back, my friend. Tell me what you learned. Your arrival is fortuitous, as I have only just returned myself. Were you able to make contact with the rebels? Did you meet with Arana?
Yes, I also learned that Lady Belaine is a vampire. She is in league with the Grey Host.
I sensed some deception, but her illusion was powerful. How else did she hide her nature from me? As for Arana, do you think we can convince her and her rebels to join our cause?
Perhaps. She sent me to spy on Belaine, and I wound up talking to the Grey Host leader, Rada al-Saran.
You spoke to Rada? Did he... No matter. If Rada al-Saran is here, our time goes short. Talk to Kadek. If he deems what you tell him worthy, maybe he'll finally be willing to work with me, and we can figure out how to deal with the Grey Host.
Alright, I'll talk to Ard Kadek.
It was only a matter of time before Rada and I crossed paths again. I just didn't think it would be this soon.
Tell me more about Rada al-Saran.
Rada al-Saran and I... we have a complicated history. There was a time when Rada and I stood united in purpose to preserve the lives and welfare of vampires. Then, as now, our kin suffered under Molag Bol's curse and the cruelty of mortal hunters.
You had some sort of falling out?
Not exactly. At least, not all at once. When I first met Rada, he was immensely proud but utterly consumed by his failures. He tried to find relief in bloodshed and battle, but he was truly lost. I did my best to help him.
Did it work?
Yes. His bloodlust gave way to introspection, and introspection led to study. He was already a peerless scholar. All Onse were, but he became fascinated with vampire texts. Eventually, he found a new purpose.
A new purpose?
Vampiric salvation. To accomplish this, he needed to break Molag Bol's hold over us and stop mortals from hunting us. I counseled peace with mortals, and for a while he agreed. But things changed, and I left the Grey Host. I thought he died with them.
I knew you were part of the Grey Host, but you never told me why you joined them.
I sought to make the world a better place. I thought the Grey Council could help, but when it became the Grey Host, I formed the Raven Watch as an atonement for things I failed to do, friends I failed to save, from mortals and from themselves.
Sentry boat for sent word. The Grey Host is...
I'll hear no more of this. Go! I want to talk to the outsider.
The outsider returns. But are you a true warrior? Or a parasite like these damned leeches? Did you do as Lady Boleyn asked? Did you deal with the Rana? Tell me you have her head in your pack. I've got a pike on the walls waiting to be decorated.
I found Arana, but I learned something else. Lady Boleyn is working with the Grey Host.
That's not what you were asked to look into. Still, it confirms my own suspicions about my own keep witch. Don't look so surprised. I'm not half as stupid as people think, Rover.
If you suspected she was working with the Grey Host, why allow her to remain in your court?
Allow? I can count on 3 fingers the number of people I allow in understood keep. The rest, they come, go as they please. Let me tell you about the Inner Dance. It's a ceremony we perform here in the Reach. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
We grab a handful of hot coals and dance on a bit of straw. Ah, these coals burn over, right to the bone. But if you drop in one, the straw lights, and the flames take all of you to the moated ball. Do you see? Boleyn's a hot coal. So I grip her tight.
Now that you know for sure, what are you going to do?
I'm going to sharpen my sword. If you and the noble plan to fight the Grey Host, I won't stop you. But remember, Markarth is more than dwarven stones and high walls. It's strength. Make Arana understand that. That's how you can help.
I'll consider that. Have I done enough that you'll agree to talk to Count Verandis now?
Still begging? I should have the tongue ripped from your head and... damn it, Rover. A favor for a favor. That's the Reach way. All right, tell the noble. Our Cack will see you whenever he's ready.
I'll let Count Verandis know.
You think I'm foolish to keep Lady Boleyn close, don't you? It takes a bit of foolishness to rule this place, don't you know? You tell this high elf of yours. I'll see him if he wants.
Why are you and Arana at odds?
Because I'm the Ard of Markarth, and she refuses to heed my commands. Look, every Reach warrior who dies fighting Arana's private war against the Grey Host makes all of us weaker. We need her strength now more than ever.
So you want me to convince her to bring her people into the city?
Markarth's the safest place right now. No matter how well Arana and her rebels know the hills. The vampires and the werewolves sniff them out. If she keeps getting my best fighters killed, I swear I'll hang her from the city walls by her own guts.
Why do you think the Grey Host will? Why don't you think the Grey Host will attack Markarth?
We made a deal. We gather in the city and leave them free to find whatever bit of dwarven nonsense brought them to the Reach in the first place. Of course, Lady Boleyn broke her peace. Now I suppose the bargain is suspect.
Then help us fight them.
The city walls are still our strongest play. Like headstones, they mark the thousands of enemies who died, trying to breach Markarth's defenses. wait for the Grey Host to show their true intentions. Then I act.
How did you become the despot of Markarth?
That's a title given to me by outsiders. Use it to frighten the neighbors. Keep away the riffraff. I'm the Ard of Markarth. Leovic, the last Longhouse Emperor, was my cousin. I inherited the throne by blood. Had to keep it by blood, too.
What do you mean?
You ask more questions
Yeah.
than my third wife. Leovic's clan. My clan squabbled over the scraps after Varyn murdered my cousin. Pretty soon, they came to take my city. So I bound their ankles and tossed them all to the rocks. Head first!
First of all, don't speak ill of Varen in front of me. He's dead. But I sacrificed him, so... you murdered your entire clan?
All that were left. Aye. The word is executed, not murdered. And Ard offers food, freedom, and protection with his right hand. With his left, he promises cruelty and punishment. Those that covet the right get the left. Simple as that.
Is that when you gave the? Is that when they gave you the title of Despot of Markarth?
No. That story's far worse. And no, I won't be telling it this day.
Alright, I'm off. Yeah, I bumped the wire with my hand and pulled the cord out by
Lane
accident.
hasn't returned, but she could have other eyes here in court. Be wary. I've been watching, but Lady Belaine hasn't returned to Understone Keep yet. I wonder how the Ard plans to deal with her. Speaking of Ard Kadok, will he meet with me now? Will he help us stop Rada al-Saron and the Grey Host?
Ard Kadok will meet with you, but he wants to keep Belaine close for now.
And that's some progress, at least. Farther than I was able to get on my own. Thank you. I'll talk to Kadok, then I'd like to make contact with Arana. We'll need the rebels' help and more if we're going to defeat the Grey Host.
Complete quest.
Your investigations uncovered that Ard Kadok's advisor, Lady Belaine, is working with the Grey Host, and that she's a vampire. To hide that from me takes great power. Tell me exactly what you heard during Rada al-Saron's conversation with her.
Lady Belaine mentioned her influence over the Ard and that Markarth will soon be full of reach folk.
With your warning, Ard Kadok can decide what to do with Lady Belaine's advice in the future. As to why they care that reach folk gather within the city, I'll need to think about that. Did you hear anything else of significance during their exchange?
Rada al-Saron said he needed something called the Archazard Keystone. He sent Belaine to find it.
Rada tried to use dwarven devices once, but nothing came of it. Interesting. As I toured the city, I met Nolavan. He works with dwarven scrap in the southeast section of Markarth. Maybe he can lead us to this keystone before Lady Belaine acquires it.
Alright, I'll find Nolavan and ask him about the Archazard Keystone.
Despite occupying the ruins of their lost civilization, few reach folk want anything to do with dwarven devices. That's why Nolavan intrigued me. While you deal with him, I'll seek out Arana's rebels. If I can't find them, they will surely notice me.
I thought you also wanted to talk to Ard Kadok.
And so I shall, briefly. Kadok has a city full of reach folk to deal with, so I don't want to unduly distract him. Then I need to locate Arana. If we can get the rebels to work with us against the Grey Host, we'll have more than a fighting chance.
Alright, I'm off. And that's the first quest done. There are 6 main quests, and then there are 6 quests to wrap up the Dark Heart of Skyrim, so...
an outsider. I guess when the Ard made us put up those scratching sequel signs, it really worked. Attracted you right to my business. Unfortunately, we're closed right now. Come back later and bring your gold.
I just need to ask you something. Do you happen to know anything about the Arcazard Keystone?
Ardzar.
Ardzar, sorry.
Dwarven. I guess that's why you came to see me. No one in Markarth knows more about the deep folk and their scrap than old Nolovan. Now, Keystone. That's another matter. Could refer to a wedge that supports an arch, maybe.
I think it may be magical.
Well, that is the other kind. You might be able to find one in Batharzel. I could sell you a map to the place, but it won't be cheap. Or if you do a simple job for me, I'll give you the map as payment. Quick work that would help me a great deal.
I've got plenty of gold. I'll go ahead and buy it.
Aye, more than cover it. Here's your map. Leads right to Batharzel. I guarantee it. You might need to do a little searching to find the entrance, but that map will get you close. Now, please, I have so much work to do before I can open the shop.
Hey you, Verandis has need you.
Hey, Gwendis. I always do that. I almost run right past Gwendis because she's so short. Actually, she's not that much shorter than Reewish. I think Reewish might be a little too short. Let me see. How tall am I compared to this guy? No, we're about the same height. So I'm about average male height, but Gwendis must be a little tall for a wood elf then, because usually wood elves are shorter.
Verandis said he sent you to talk to the scrap dealer, and here you are. Good to see you, by the way. Anyway, Verandis needs to talk to you. Right away, he said. So let's go.
I thought Verandis was going to try to locate the rebels and their leader.
He did. Here, let me mark a location on your map. That's Rebels Retreat, what Arana and her people call their camp in the foothills. Verandis wants you to meet him there.
Thanks. I may know where to find the keystone, too. I'll go to Rebels Retreat and tell Verandis.
You should move quickly. Verandis has a way with words, but he's still a verbose high elf vampire noble from High Rock, any and all of which can get you killed in the Reach.
It doesn't take long for Verandis to make contact with the rebels.
Funny you should mention that. Oh, he went out into the foothills all right. But before Verandis could find them, the rebels found him. Seems to be working out, at least for the moment.
Tell me more about Rebels Retreat.
What's to tell? It's a Reach folk camp in the foothills. Probably the main base for the rebels, but I'm just guessing. I was with Verandis when the rebels surrounded us. I wanted to fight, but the Count held me back. That's when Arana appeared.
You can't give me any more information, additional information?
Hang on, let me think. The camp's set up inside an old Nord ruin. It's surprisingly sturdy for something that was abandoned a long time ago. The rebels seem to be running low on supplies. Food, weapons, armor.
And you spoke to Arana?
Well, her and Verandis did most of the talking. I'm not sure I trust the witch, but I trust Verandis. He says she's a friend. That's good enough for me.
Oh wait, there was something else I wanted to ask her about.
Funny you should.
How are you
mention
holding
that.
up after the business
he
in
went out
Greymore
into the
Keep?
foothills. Well enough, I suppose. Thanks for asking. Adusa drags her tail a bit every now and then. Still fighting off the worst of Aseni's experiments, I think. But so far, no turning into a blood knight, so, you know, success.
That's good, yeah. I'm off. And we're going to take the Way Shrine, so it's going to be a lot faster than walking all the way out there. Oh, somebody's got the full Dwarven Armory set from this DLC. I am so jealous. I've been trying to get that full set. It's taking forever to grind out that set. I've got 7 pieces, and there's 7 pieces left to get.
Arana.
Arana's arch.
Search it now.
Aye, that one I know. Very well, Verandis. I'll speak to them.
Arana.
I see Verandis' word is good. He said I could treat with you, and here you are. The Count tells me that Lady Belaine and the Grey Host leader, Rada El Saran, seek some powerful relic, the Arcthazand Keystone. Is that correct?
Yes, I obtained a map that will lead us to a place we can find it. Barthazel.
Let me see your map. Yes, I know that name. But dwarven mischief riddles the bones of the Reach. It could be anywhere. My mother called this place the Hissing Maze. Said it's full of mechanical monsters that guard a trove of silver.
Do you know where Balthazel is located?
3 marks. 3 places to search. All right. I'll help you in Verandis, but not before the spirits bless our alliance. I want you to undertake a ritual. If the spirits favor you, we'll face the Grey Host together.
And if I don't win the favor of the spirits?
Positive thoughts, Harrier. Positive thoughts. Participate in the ritual. Then we will see what we will see.
Alright, I'll participate in your ritual. What do I need to do?
Without the blessings of the spirits, it would be unseemly for this alliance to go forward. The ritual begins with the preparation. Gather a briar heart seed, a hagraven's eye, and a handful of bright river shale. Check to the east, west, and south.
Tell me more about this ritual.
Whenever different plans come together in a common purpose, we seek the blessings of the spirits to confirm we're doing the right thing. We will ask the hunter to bind our hearts. If he sees strength in you, we will clasp arms and band together.
Where can I find these ritual components?
Need a map for that too, do ya? Like I said, the ritual begins with the preparation. We need 3 things. A briar heart seed, some bright river shale, and a hagraven's eye.
Where can I get a briar heart seed?
They grow in the hills to the south. Just remember your gloves. The briar's thorns are sharper than Dagon's razor.
What about the bright river shale?
Check north and west, along the riverbank. Spirits prowl the area, so proceed with caution. Fairies and spriggans and such. I'd put them to sleep for ya, but that would be cheating.
And where in the world do I find a hagraven's eye?
In a hagraven's head, of course. Or from a jar. They remove their own eyes to use in rituals too. There's a coven to the east of here. Nothing but a flock of toad-licking root hoarders, stealing all the best herbs. Namira take the lot of them.
Tell me more about the hunter.
You want to know about old Elkai, the wolf charmer, the lord of the hunt. You probably know him as Hersey.
Yep, I know him as Hersey. You're performing a ritual to a Daedric prince?
We can call on your gods too if you prefer. Care to wager who answers first?
I get it.
We'll hear from one of Hersey's pups at least. Or get a hint from a fox spirit or a bloody stag. You're not refusing the ritual.
No, I'm eager to see this ritual in action.
Good. Nice to see you thin bloods aren't all hair-bladder cowards after all.
Are all of you rebels here?
Many, but not all. We have enclaves throughout these hills. But these aren't my warriors.
Aren't you the leader?
For now, aye. But these warriors take no oaths, swear no fealty. They serve their clan, the Reach, and the courage painted on their arts. No one and nothing else.
What will they do when this is all over?
They'll wander back into the hills to fight their own battles, old and new. These troubles with the Grey Host have torn clans to pieces. Set sons against fathers, chiefs against wise women. It'll take seasons to stitch the Reach back together.
Is your clan here with you?
No, they're not. Let's talk about something else, alright?
Alright. Let's go gather those materials. And actually, I would be fairly betting that if we had a history, my gods would answer very quickly, because the hist is actually pretty fast to answer. Like, I don't serve the Aedra. I mean, I've been infused with the power of Akatosh, so I might be able to get an answer from Akatosh, but more than likely I would get an answer from the hist. So much faster. Probably better to get the Briarheart seed first, 'cause it's closer.
The Harrier returns, swift as a crow on the wing. I have prepared the ritual fire. Did you bring the components I requested?
Yes, I have the components.
Well done, Harrier. Now, once we undertake this ritual, we will be bound by blood and spirit. It's a union stronger than stone and more eternal than the stars. Are you ready for such a commitment?
Yes, the Ravenwatch and I are ready.
Good. So am I. And so the spirits feel the same way. Place the components in the fire and stand back. No matter what you see or hear, stand your ground and think about our alliance. Keep that purpose in your mind. Understand?
Yes, I understand. I'll place the components in the fire now.
Heed our call, Hunt King. Two great packs seek the same full moon. Make them one, bound by common prey. Let Rach and Raven drink of the same dark blood. How your blessing, mighty Hircine. Send aside and guide our hunt. Look, Hircine paints our quarry in smoke and stars. Our pact has been blessed, Harrier. The ritual was a success. Our union has been blessed by Hircine himself. I'm not certain what the spirits showed us. I'll figure it out eventually. I always do. Are you ready to search for the keystone now, Harrier? I think I know where to begin.
Are you coming with me to find the keystone?
Aye, Harrier. We're bound together now. And how else will you find anything in those forsaken depths? I think the skytail we saw in the fire, the snake, will point the way. Once I figure out how it connects to all this, that is.
Skytails?
That's what we call the shapes in the stars. Constellations is your word. Some of my sisters can read the stars the way you read a book. See the future, learn the truth in every twinkle. I don't have the knack. It's fire and bones for me.
Why do you want to come with me?
We made a pact, and Hircine blessed it. He put us on the scent, and I plan to track it to the end. Besides, without someone who knows the ridge, the map's useless. You know what monsters hate? Silver. According to the stories, the Tharzel is full of it.
Alright, let's go find Buzzardzil.
I need to speak to Tayfern before I set out. Go on, Harrier. I'll find you on the trail.
Is there really silver in Balthazil?
So the legends say. A treasure trove of the pure metal. Enough to arm my warriors with weapons to slay every vampire and werewolf that marches with the Grey Host. And your keystone too, with any luck.
Have you ever heard of the Arkazard Keystone?
No, but rich folk don't make a habit of poking around in the deep places of the world. The hells are dangerous enough. legend tells of silver and other wondrous treasures. Wouldn't surprise me to find your keystone there.
And you really think we'll find enough silver to arm your warriors?
We'll find something, that's for certain. In the Reach, treasure can mean all sorts of things. A plump cave bear is a treasure to a hungry clan. But as for silver, you won't find a better metal for killing vampires and werewolves.
What do you mean we're bound together?
It means what it means. We're tied to each other now. What happens to one happens to both. Thin bloods make alliances with ink and parchment. We do it with fire and oath and spirit signs. I think you can guess which practice is stronger.
So if someone breaks this alliance?
Then they'd better lace their foot coverings tight, because they'll find no peace in the wild. Every wolf, hawk, and red-eyed stag heeds the Hunt King's call. You see, rich alliances have teeth. Your Ravenwatch friends better not forget that.
What do you expect to find at these locations on the map?
Something to do with scars, I expect. How that might lead us to the entrance to a dwarven ruin, I've no idea. I think better out there among the rocks and trees, though. We'll see what we see and sort it along the way.
Alright. What do you think of this, Ferrandis?
Keep Orana safe, my friend. Without her, I'm not sure the rebels will honor our new agreement.
Find that keystone. I don't know what it's for, but if Rada Al-Saron wants it, then we need to make sure to keep it away from him. Verandis and I will catch up with you after we track down Lady Belaine.
Alright, see ya, Verandis. See ya, Shorty. Well, I can't really say that. You're almost the same height as I am. Well, my head's kind of bent down a little bit, so I'm a little bit taller than Windus. So yeah, I can call her Shorty. I just imagine Gwen's just like, I'm a vampire, fear me. Like, oh, you're so cute when you're riled up. It's like just holding out the hand on her forehead and like she's like trying to take swings at you, but she can't reach you because she's got the little arms. It's like, can't get me. When you erect the spine of suicide. I erected the spine of suicide. Gosh, we haven't heard a referencing to erecting the spine in a hot minute, have we, since we left Murkmire. I need to get back to that as soon as they fix that quest. I think I might go back and check to see if that quest has been fixed here soon.
Look, Harrier, a plaque. Let's examine it. That's a sky tail. We call it the hunter.
That's what I was.
Would refer to it as the thief.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing, Joe. Was doing it either off stream or on a non-stream character. The issue with that being I have to work my way all the way back through the story to that point if I do that. If with this character, all I would have to do is leave the area and then it will... all I just confirm is I can walk through that area and then leave the area again and close out and we can just pick back up there. But we're going to finish Markarth first before I do that. Because I'm not going to stop Markarth to go back to Murkmire. Because once... I'm sorry to hear that. As so she's starting to have the terrible twos, or
these plaques are as old as these hills, Harrier. Take a not
threes. Oh yeah, I forgot she was 3. Wow. Wow, that makes me feel a little old. doesn't it feel like it was all that long ago that you had to miss that week of camp so that way you could, oh. Hey.
You there! I challenge you!
You are old. Well, I mean, the kids did say I was like 1,100 years old, I mean. I'm like, what am I, a vampire? And they're like, yes. Like, what makes you think I'm a vampire? You never blink! I'm like, I don't blink? It's like, no! Oh, those are the guys I helped find their bunny. Where's the bunny? Where's Snowy? There's Snowy. No, I'm the vampire. Snowy wrinkles her little bunny nose. It's adorable. Yes, because as we determined, you can't be on the dark side if you can't see in the dark.
We think the dwarves placed these plaques, but no one really knows. See what that one says. That depicts the sky tail of the headsman. I think your people called it the warrior. I knew it would come to me, eventually. The ritual, the plaques, the map. It finally makes some sense now.
What are you talking about?
You missed it too. What a pair we make. What did Hercene show us? He revealed the snake, which I thought was just a substitute for our prey. But the sky tails on the plaques, the witch, the headsman, and the hunter, they're the rich guardians.
And that means?
Look at your map. See how the marks form the shape of the snake in the stars? And see how one mark is missing? If I place it here, we see the snake in its entirety. That's where we need to go. As for the rich guardians, well, we'll see.
Alright, I'll make my way there now.
Storytellers say the dwarves knew the stars better than anyone. Strange passion for people who lived underground, eh? Anyway, let's get to this final location.
Tell me more about the snake and the stars.
The snake in the stars is the corruptor, the enemy.
Lorcan.
It would consume the lesser stars without hesitation. Luckily, the guardians, the headsman, the witch, and the hunter stand strong and defend the lesser stars.
Yeah, so the snake represents Lorcan, also known as Shor, in the Nord pantheon. Tell me more about the witch and the stars.
The witch shines her light on covens that protect the rich from outsiders and others who mean to do rich folk harm. Her good eye sees through everything, rock, water, and flesh, to find the hard truths. And when she speaks, she never lies.
Why do you call the warrior the headsman?
He carries an axe, doesn't he? The headsman stands for swift ends and payment in kind. He delivers justice and punishment in equal measure.
Why do you call the thief the hunter?
The hunter is the wiliest of the sky tales. Clever as an old fox and swift as a young one. She watches the snake in the stars, finding it no matter where it slithers. She teaches us to keep our feet quiet and our keels as silent as the night.
Alright. There's an imp floating there. I really don't want to pick a fight with them. Deep Folk Crossing. Joe, you might remember Deep Folk Crossing from... well, there's a Minotaur here. I don't remember this. You might remember Deep Folk Crossing, Joe, from when you were playing Skyrim. It's a location where you get one of the ethereal shards for the Ethereum quest, but you can't go inside the ruins.
This must be the spot. Just look at all this dwarf craft. The entrance to Batharsel must be around here somewhere. Always a trick with dwarves, though. Look at these pillars. More sky tails. Turn those stones in the right order, and I think we'll find our goal. That looks right to me.
This looks promising.
Indeed. A dwarven lock of some kind, I suspect.
That did something, Harrier.
Yeah, it's a game that a lot of people, it takes time to get into, and we haven't really gotten to a lot of the action yet, so it's been a lot of talking and stuff.
That did it! Oh, wait. Something's not right. A darkness.
Orana, Are you all right?
An ominous turn. Come, my friend. Let's talk. The door opened, but something happened to Irana. She mentioned something about her darkness. We should check on her, but we also need to determine that the keystone we seek is here.
Do you know what happened to Arana?
No, but she has a sensitivity that I do not possess. Most powerful witches do. Let's hope she recovers quickly. It is said that mechanical horrors guard the depths of Bethar Zel. No matter what, we must find the keystone.
He voices Jon Snow? I didn't know that. I know he voices some other famous characters, but I didn't know Jon Snow was one of them. I understand. Let's get moving.
Mind the shadows and be on your guard. In addition to the mechanical traps and defenders, we know that Lady Belaine is also seeking the keystone.
Oh, he looks like Jon Snow. Yeah. He is Verandis Ravenwatch, one of the oldest vampires in the world. How could Lady Belaine get into the ruins ahead of us?
Lady Belaine has had more time to research the Artisan keystone than we did. She may have already known about his location and the hidden door. Or she may have known a different way to get inside. Then again, she may be looking somewhere else entirely.
You think we're in the wrong place?
I certainly hope not. Between the dwarven scrap dealer and Arana's ritual, everything seems to point to this location. I only mean that Lady Belaine may be operating off of a totally different set of suppositions.
Why do you think that the Grey Host needs the Arkazard keystone?
Dwarven keystones not only provide access to forbidden or otherwise sealed areas, they also tend to radiate ancient magic. The uses for such a relic are potentially limitless. I won't be able to determine more until I see the keystone itself.
Alright, let's head inside. Oh my gosh, the door is actually fully summoned this time. The last two times I've done this, there's only half the door showing up, and the whole door is here actually now. The lost city of Barthazel? Of course I know it. You think we Reach folk don't have legends same as you? A silver city it was, home of the richest dwarf lords, and their metal beast.
Wendis and I can cover more ground on our own. Let's find the keystone.
Alright, see you guys.
So this is the Barzel. Mind your feet, Harry. Every bit of metal in here means to do you harm.
Yeah, I never even imagined that he looked like Jon Snow. I mean, I've watched Game of Thrones a couple times, but I never made the connection between them before.
Must have been chiefs who lived here. Chiefs are grand metal workers.
My character is an Argonian, a lizard. Hold on, once I kill these enemies, I'll show you. So in this, are you familiar with Skyrim at all? So in this world, there are humanoids, there are elves, there are cat people, there are lizard people, and there are humans. I'm playing as the... Yeah, so it's the lizard people from that game. Like this is set in the same game world as Skyrim. I'm playing as one of the lizard people.
Namira's blood. They cut the heart out of the ground. It's an entire city under the earth, hiding something worse beneath.
Yeah, this place is huge. And here come the dwarven spiders. Yeah, and I'm accompanied by a demonic chicken. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Well, you can't see it right now, but its face usually glows red with demonic light. But that was not an enemy. That was another player. Look at all the silver, though. There's more over here, like lots of silver, and more over here too. Oh, and over here as well. Evil chicken.
Those were true. Silver. I'll send crafters down to carve it out once we deal with the rest of these metal beasts.
All right, to the Keystone Chamber. It may have been. There are unicorns in the game. I know that they had released some unicorns as a they released some baby unicorns as a pet that you could get one time. I didn't get it myself, but I know some people bought it. So it could have been a baby unicorn pet, yes. There's also a unicorn mount you can ride on as well.
I hear something wailing and scratching at the walls. There's darkness all around.
There. That must be the Artisan Keystone.
Rada. Ooh.
Verandis. So it's true. You are alive. Nevertheless, the Keystone isn't mine.
I told you I saw him, skulking around Markarth. He's not as impressive as you led me to believe.
Enough, Belaine. Take the Keystone. My Verandis would give chase. This pathetic creature. I don't know what it will decide to do.
Rada, you must listen. There's still time to make things right. Rada? Rada!
Oh, thank you guys. Leave me to fight this monstrosity by myself, of course. Ooh, I got a Red Eagle cave painting lead. Sweet. Wait. Arana, where'd you go? Oh, she must have gone back up to the surf. Nope, there she is. Okay. Are you not coming with me, Arana?
That was a proper rage victory. Remember that beating in your chest, Harrier, and the sweat on your brow. No metal beast, big or small, knows what victory feels like. That's how we win. That's how we always win. Come on, let's get out of here.
Alright, Arana. Okay, for whatever reason, she's not showing up on the pedestal, but we'll just go. Bye, chicken! Maybe I finally escaped it after all this time. Maybe it won't follow me anymore. Darn it.
I don't hear any clanking behind us. I think we're clear. Curse that Lady Belaine. I thought if we could acquire the Keystone, we could finally get the upper hand. Tired of snapping at the heels of the Grey Host. I want to go for the throat.
Maybe we can still catch up to her?
Maybe. But you have to go alone from here, Harrier. There's a fork in the path, and we need to go our separate ways. At least for a while. There's something down here. A darkness. Like leeches in a pond. It takes little bites of my soul.
You're leaving?
I need to get back to the surface. I need to see the sky, feel the wind on my skin. I'll rally the warriors and start preparing for the fight to come. Protect your heart, Harrier. This darkness will eat at you too, if you let it.
Thanks for the warning, Arana.
Keep an eye on Verandas, Harrier. Rada al-Saran was toying with him. He's got plans for your friend, I think.
Tell me more about the darkness you're sensing.
It's hard to explain. Most witchcraft is. Imagine a boulder. Heavy, solid, huge. Now imagine some grinning bastard lowering it onto your chest. Slowly at first, but it starts to crush you. Little by little, it becomes harder to breathe.
Is the feeling of darkness worse down here?
Aye. It feels like a wet rag sliding down my throat, choking the life out of me. I'll manage. But you need to stay wary. All of you. Whatever it is, it's like a black pit at the center of a sour fruit. I don't think it belongs in this world.
Do you get any impressions from the Argosard Keystone?
Dwarf magic is hard to hold. It's so clean, all straight angles, no frayed edges. So natural is what it is. The keystone might open a door, but more than that, it's eager. It doesn't just want to open, it wants to activate something.
What about the silver we saw down here?
I'll send crafters to gather some. We'll fashion it into weapons, arrow tips, coated blades. We have a few metalworkers in the clans. Use what's on hand to survive, same as always. Silver hurts the Grey Host, so we'll work with silver.
Alright, we're on our way. And no, I'm not going to sing the obvious Speedway reference. I've done that too many times. I probably should be ashamed of the fact that I've even done it once.
Wendis, think this through.
No, they slipped the noose once. That's not going to happen again.
My friend, I thought I could catch Rada and Lady Belaine. Convince him to... Anyway, I'm sorry I failed this. They acquired the Keystone and escaped across the river. Or that dwarven structure in the distance.
So what do we do now, Verandus?
Unlike Gwendis, we can't rush off without a plan. Clear heads will win the day, mark my words. This contest is far from over. With a fresh trail to follow and new allies at our side, victory is closer than ever. And much of that is because of you. This must be Blackreach. I've read the legends, but I never thought it was real. Stories hardly do it justice. Perhaps one day I'll have an opportunity to explore it more fully. For now, we have work to do. Are you still with me, my friend?
I'm with you, but Lady Belaine took the Argosard Keystone.
Ah, the Keystone. What is it and how is it connected to that dwarven structure? Why are they so important to Rada and Lady Belaine? Perhaps they seek to harness some sort of dwarven sorcery? Well, regardless, we can't allow them to achieve their goal.
Shouldn't we go after them?
Yes, but we need to proceed with caution. We don't know the purpose of the Keystone, and we don't know what they plan to do with it. That said, we are not without our own talents. We can overcome any obstacles and find a way forward. We always do.
I'll help you find a way into that dwarven ruin.
I'll meet you across the river. Together we'll find a way to enter that ruin. Seeing Rada again, it reopened many old wounds. He wasn't always the villain. At least, I like to think he wasn't. Ah, fool's hope is a dangerous thing.
You seem conflicted about Rada al-Saran.
Conflicted? I suppose you could say that. We were friends once, partners, in a great and noble undertaking. And then Rada changed. Maybe it was me. Now, who can say? He betrayed what we believed in, and then he died. Or at least, I thought he did.
But we have to stop Rada al-Saran, right?
Without a doubt. Rada's plans, whatever they are, will prove catastrophic to the mortal realm if allowed to proceed unchecked. I hope I can talk to him, appeal to his better half, and make him see reason. If not, I'll do whatever I must to end this.
I understand. Also, I'm not going to ask this question. He's already answered this question. She was using an illusion. Any guess as to what they plan to do with the Archizard Keystone?
I was able to study the keystone briefly before Rada and Belaine snatched it away. It's a faceted stone bound by a metal band, obviously of dwarven design. I'm not a Dwemer expert, but the keystone, it could have 1,000 different uses.
Which must have been kind of something like it in all your travels.
It shares some similarities with Ayleid Welkin stones, but as far as I know, the Ayleids and dwarves had little to do with each other. It's puzzling. Magic stones often serve as power sources, as well as keys and even weapons.
Using it as a power source or a key seems more likely, seeming as they took it to that ruin.
I reached that same conclusion, my friend. Let's get over there and find out, shall we? And if the opportunity presents itself, perhaps I can get Rodder to see reason and abandon this destructive course he's set for the Grey Host.
That seems like a little idealistic. I don't think that's going to be possible, Rodder or Verandus. Did I not acquire that? No, I did acquire that shrine. Okay. All right. Let's get started in Blackreach. There's a particular goal I want to go for first before we... There it is. Okay, this thing has never been up anytime I've come here. Library of Archizard Sand discovered.
There you are. We have a problem.
Let me guess, the door's locked?
This is where Rada and Lady Belaine entered the structure, but I can't find any way to open the doors. I suspect this may be why they needed the keystone.
How we followed them without a keystone of our own?
Good question. Let's look around. Not all of the ruin remains intact. Portions have crumbled over the ages. Perhaps we can find a path through the rubble. Just be cautious. I've seen both constructs and shadowy creatures prowling this ruin.
Constructs and shadowy creatures.
The constructs are dwarven and expected. The shadows, some sort of beings made of inky darkness, quite unsettling and potentially dangerous. Something unusual has taken hold of this place.
Any idea what this place might have been? Any idea what this place might have been?
I wish I could say for certain. I've done precious little reading on dwarven ruins. I do seem to recall the name Argazan being connected to a university, a library. This place does have a sort of academic look to it, don't you think?
The shadow beings you mentioned, do you think they're dwarves?
I've seen nothing dwarven in their manner or appearance. Dwarves were meticulous scholars. Their constructs, their architecture, everything was precise and controlled. These shades are like wild animals. Whatever spawned them may not be dwarven at all.
Arana sensed something down here. She called it a darkness.
Reach magic strikes me as wild and unpredictable. Arana clearly shares a strong connection with the ebb and flow of the spirits, though. She might have sensed these creatures. I suspect something else caused her distress.
Something else?
The source of these shadow beings, these shades. I sense a corruption, a void. The longer I'm close to it, the more I suspect it may be the very thing that drew Rodda and Lady Belaine here in the first place. Stay alert, my friend.
Any idea what this... Oh, I already asked that question. Okay, let's go around. Also, there's a location. Let's run over there and get that real quick before I forget to do it, and then have to do it later, because I forgot it a dozen times. Which is what I did on my other 2 playthroughs. It's literally just down here. There we go, got it. Now we can head back. And that is all 3 crafting stations in the Reach found.
That door is clearly blocked. That strange energy. Wait. Is there something on the floor?
We reached the ruins that Lady Belaine calls the Library of Arkezan. It doesn't look like a library to me. Belaine's obsession with the awakening of this dark relic concerns me. I think centuries of isolation have taken their toll. The relic's presence seems to have created some strange energy pockets. Lady Belaine claims her people harness the power of the energy to move short distances, to reach otherwise inaccessible locations. The Ashen Lord has tasked me to investigate this phenomena further, as it could have great benefit to the Grey Host. I shall do my best to confirm the application of these void portals. I will be cautious, however. I have seen what happens over time to those who draw sustenance from the darkness here. There's no way to live. It is no way to live. I understand that alliance with Lady Belaine is necessary for the Grey Host's goals, but we cannot become entrapped in her madness. Pensionarch Crevice. Creviners.
That parchment appears relatively fresh and intact. What does it say?
It's written by a Grey Host pensionarch. Apparently, this is the Library of Arkezan.
The Library of Arkezan.
Arkezan.
Interesting. I assume a dwarven library houses more than simply books. Anything else of pertinence written there?
It suggests that Lady Belaine wants to awaken some sort of dark relic.
A dark relic? That sounds ominous. And quite likely related to the darkness that Arana sensed, and I now feel as well. That could be the source of these shades. Anything else?
It mentions void portals, strange energy pockets that can be harnessed to travel short distances.
The void portals, the dark relic resonating power, and strange shades. We can't let any of this fall into Radha and Lady Belaine's hands. Let's see what we can find on the other side of this structure.
Alright, I'll keep looking. Thank you for your help, Verandas.
Such destruction, and not the slow decay of time. Something terrible happened here.
The others have long gone in search of the Arkanazard Keystone. Lady Belaine and the Ashen Lord need it to access the library. I need to learn more about this energy, though. The silent emptiness of these ruins is a perfect environment to conduct my research. No one to disturb me but mindless constructs in these strange twisted shades, flitting between pockets of energy in the blink of an eye. Lady Belaine seems to be able to use these void portals. Surely I can discover the secret for myself. Despite Lady Belaine's guarded secrecy concerning the Dark Relic, I have made a breakthrough upon examining the concentrated energy in these ruins. I've discovered small pieces of shard-like material that seem to originate inside the darkness. Each shard had a heaviness to it, almost as if a force was pulling outside objects into itself. If I concentrate, I can feel the same pull in the surrounding energy pockets. Each shard seeks to return to the energy it surely emerged from. I wonder what will happen if I approached one of the pockets of energy with it. Another discovery. I approached an energy pocket with a shard and the secret became apparent. As I got closer, the pull became stronger. Suddenly I felt what can only be described as a slipping. If I tripped and fell, not down, but sideways. Looking around, I realized I was somewhere new. I had just been pulled with the shard through the energy to this new location. Harnessing the energy has opened the long sealed doors of the ruin to me. Perhaps we will not need the Arkansas Keystone to enter the library after all. At least not to get inside the structure. Knowing Lady Belaine, the Keystone has another function that she has yet to share with the Ashen Lord.
It's a strange looking shard.
Got a void shard.
Another note, a strange shard. What do you think, my friend?
The note says that the Pensarach figured out how to use the void portals. It mentions shards like this.
Interesting. The shards remind me of something torn from the darkest corner of oblivion. As unsettling as that object is, I think we should hold on to it. Especially if we can use it to navigate the void portals.
The note says that the Pensarach was pulled through the portals by one of these shards.
I suggest you try to use a shard to propel yourself through one of the void portals. The risks are significant, but if we can turn these strange pockets of energy to our advantage, we have to attempt it.
Yeah, I know.
Well done, my friend. Up there, try concentrating on that pocket of energy.
Yeah, they didn't lock the top door.
This is impressive. This place, I had no idea. I knew the dwarves created some magnificent structures, but this is amazing. And look, more of those void portals in the higher portions of this. The only word that comes to mind is cathedral.
Why are there so many void portals in and around the library?
Until we find the source, I can only speculate. We need to locate it, learn more about this energy, and determine the true nature of these shades. If Rada and Lady Belaine can harness this dark energy, I hate to imagine what they could accomplish.
What do you think that they will want with this dark energy?
The longer I spend in close proximity, the more I pick up from the shades. I sense fragmented thoughts and raw emotion. They remind me of pure rage and unbridled pain. Perhaps exploring the library will yield some answers.
All right.
Shades. I sense their presence in every dark corner. Keep going. path ends here. There's a door up above. We need to find a way to reach it.
Well, that was a mistake. I went the wrong way. Ah, there's the next portal.
Appears to be some sort of containment apparatus. And there's a shade trapped at the center.
Using the void shard to traverse the void portals is exhilarating and allowed me to reach this ancient chamber with a remarkable containment apparatus. Look how the machine utilizes larger chunks of void shard, crystals actually. It somehow makes use of the dark energy that spills out of these pockets. These breaches in the fabric of reality. Is this the remnant of a Dwemer experiment frozen in time? By rotating the crystals, I discovered that they serve as a focal point for the energy, reflecting and refracting it. Through this amplification, the apparatus begins to steer. Perhaps I can adjust it to stabilize one of the energy pockets and pull the energy as... The pool of energy is powerful, but I must maintain control. If I make a single mistake, I may not be able to pull myself from its grasp. Pensiarch Crevinus.
Another sheet of parchment. Bring it here. Might that be another observation by the Grey Host Pentar? What secrets does it reveal this time?
The apparatus somehow focuses the void energy. I think he tried to use it to stabilize a breach.
Of course. Despite all the knowledge he gained, he made a mistake. That trapped shade. That's the Grey Host Pentarch. We should attempt to free him, if not out of mercy, then to determine what he knows about the dark energy and its source.
The note suggests that the void crystal can be rotated to focus the energy.
Very well. Manipulate the crystals and see if you can set the tortured shade free. Just exercise caution, my friend. I would hate to see you trapped within the apparatus alongside the Grey Host Pentarch.
Goodbye.
That's it. Keep repositioning the crystals to reflect the energy. That did something. Try to connect the crystals in all four corners of the room.
Wait, did that take? I think that took. Yeah, that took.
Nothing is happening. Try activating the remaining two platforms.
Oh, I did it. I got it.
That did it! Quickly now, question the shade before it dissipates.
Tell me about the darkness. The darkness, is it what Rada Alceron and Lady Belaine seek? Beneath stars and spheres, where can I find Lady Belaine? Yeah, I doubt that'll happen.
Such anguish, such pain. Souls trapped in Molak Bol's realm wither over centuries, but this dark heart, it stripped that creature of its vitality almost instantly. I wish it had told us more. It could have been more coherent.
We know that Rada Alceron and Lady Belaine are seeking something called the Dark Heart.
Yes, but apparently for different purposes. Unstable breaches in the fabric of reality, imploded chambers, trapped shades. Everything points to some terrible dwarven experiment that went astray. And this dark energy is clearly powerful and dangerous.
What could Rada Alceron and Lady Belaine want with something like that?
As the shade implied, they each seek the dark heart for a different reason. You can only imagine what Rada would do with such power. As for Belaine, he called her the vessel that never fills. Curious description. Regardless, we must find them.
Does Beneath the Stars and Spheres mean anything to you?
It must have something to do with the sky above. Perhaps constellations such as those that led us to Badar Zel. In any event, it's evident that the dark current flowing through this place traps souls and twists them into these shades.
The shade made it sound as if the Dark Heart is alive.
Perhaps it does possess life, for sure. Certainly it holds a vast amount of power. Power enough that we can't allow Rada or Lady Belaine to get their hands on it. Come, my friend. Let's continue our hunt.
Very well.
Watch for signs of the Grey Host that should point us toward Rada and Belaine. Yes, of course. An orrery. Rada and Belaine. We found them. Let's listen in.
The orrery of Arcsand. The key to our salvation. It has stood here unmoving for nearly 3,000 years.
You're sure the keystone will power it, Belaine? It must be ready when the time comes.
The keystone is only part of the puzzle. As you agreed, we must also awaken the Dark Heart.
I gave you my word, Belaine. The Grey Host will make your prophecy come true.
Reach witch signs and portents can be tiresome, but they are necessary for this. The Dark Heart must beat again.
And it will, Belaine. Soon. With the keystone, we can come and go as we please. Now, let us leave this place. We still have much to do before we restart the orrery.
Reach witch prophecies? What fates are you tempting now, brother? As we speculated, the keystone does more than open doors. Hunter and Lady Belaine plan to use it to restart the orrery. The question remains, why? And what role does this Dark Heart play in their schemes?
She mentioned Reach Witch prophecies. Do you know what she's talking about?
I'm not sure. We know the Grey Host has Reach Witches among its ranks. Perhaps a local coven has some role in all this. We need to speak with Arana. To learn about Reach Witch prophecies, might as well go to an expert.
Should we go after Rada Al-Saran and Lady Belaine?
Without the keystone or more of those void portals, we can't get down into the orrery chamber. I'll stay here and try to pick up their trail. I need you to go to Rebel's Retreat and see what you can learn from Arana.
I mean, we could tie a rope around one of these things and drop down into the orrery chamber, but I guess we're just not going to do that.
Keep at it! Put that silver we acquired to good use, you lazy goat herders!
I wondered if you were going to return, Harrier. The worms and ghosts wouldn't stop whispering to me, talking about dark doings and stern evil. But they were deadly silent about you. Did you catch up to Lady Belaine?
Sort of. She got away again. She's trying to awaken something called the Dark Heart.
The Dark Heart, you say? There's a tale as old as the Ridge with an evil heart at its center. Like most Ridge stories, it ends bloody. Belaine might have slipped your net, but we know what she's on about. Thanks to you, this hunt isn't over yet.
All right.
The story of the Dark Heart. The Ghost Song clan knows it well. My clan. Once. I need to speak with my sister, Nathari. She studied the old secrets, knows about prophecies both ill and fair. If anyone can glean the mind of Lady Belaine, it's her.
Old secrets?
Traditions passed down from our foremothers, like the story of the prophecy of the Dark Heart. It deals with souls, shadows, endings. I know the core of it, but Nathari understands the nuances. Unfortunately, we haven't spoken in a long time.
What would Nathari talk to me?
An outsider? Not likely. We need someone to intercede on our behalf. We need Brayden. He's a friend, and he holds the respect of the clan. If he vouches for you, Nathari might talk to you. He often visits Roldan Ring to trade news. Meet me there.
I'll meet you and Brendan at Haldren Ring.
Brayden can speak to the mood of the Gosong clan. Tell him what you told me. I'm sure he'll help us get a meeting with my sister. He's a werewolf, mind you, but I've never had a truer friend. Look for him at Roldan Ring. I'll meet you there.
What's Haldren Ring?
Roldan Ring is an ancient site southeast of here. It's neutral ground. That's where all clans of the Reach can gather to trade and share stories. Brayden visits the place a lot. He loves to chatter with other clans.
Why don't you and your sister talk anymore?
Years ago, we argued about what the Spirit Queen's teachings meant for our clan. Nathari believes that we're meant to return to the old ways, the dark ways, to seek Namira's favor. I believe those days are better left behind us.
So you left the Ghost Song clan?
More like the clan left me. My sister turned them against me. As the days grew darker, Ghost Song witches found it easier to see things her way than mine. Regardless, my people will always be my people.
The Ghost Song clan, that's an unusual name.
The Spirit Queen often speaks to the witches of my clan, my former clan. Oh, we honor all the spirits of the Reach, but the Spirit Queen herself chose our foremothers to be the keepers of dark and powerful secrets.
The Spirit Queen?
You know her as Namira, and yes, she is a spirit of death. Her soft priests in their stone houses see her as a fearsome spectre, fools that they are. Rich folk know the Spirit Queen as a guide. She watches over us when we take that final journey.
Your friend Brayden is a werewolf. Can we trust him?
And your friend is a vampire. Werewolves are Hircine's chosen. Many of the Reach's greatest champions are skin changers. Brayden and the other werewolves are nothing like those Grey Host Ravagers. They're the clan's loyal protectors.
Alright. And I think that's where we're going to end off for this week. We made some significant progress. We finished 3 of the main quests today. Well, we finished 2 and about a half of another, but we got some significant progress done today. So I'm going to call it here a little bit earlier than usual, but we're going to go ahead and call it. Next week, we're going to continue on with the main quest. We're going to go to Lost Valley Redoubt and do the quest around there, get the Sky Shard, and then we'll continue on with the main quest. I want to thank you for watching if you did, and I hope to catch you next time. Thank you very much, and goodbye.